In this video, let's understand about the one-armed sniffer method in FortiGate Firewall. First, let's go with a few definitions, theoretical definitions, and following to that, we'll understand the same in the lab session. All right. Fine. So the one-arm sniffer is one of the feature in the FortiGate firewall that is designed for network traffic analysis. If you remember, in our Palo Alto firewall training, we have learnt about the tap method, right? So when we are looking at the interface types, we learnt about the tap mode. This is as same as the tap mode in the Palo Alto firewall or the span in the Cisco. Okay, all right. So it operates using a single network interface to monitor and inspect the traffic without being a direct flow, a direct path of the traffic flow. In this method, like your firewall is not going to act as a firewall, or it's not going to perform any rule to permit or deny. Instead, and also it's not going to be placed in the traffic flow path. Instead, it is going to be connected in a passive mode in a single network interface, and just it's going to monitor it. Okay, like if you want to see the topology, like maybe I can. So this is how it would look like. In general, we would be seeing like if this is the traffic flow, like if this client want to connect to the internet, in general, we would be placing the firewall here, right? Where the request hits the firewall, and based on the security policy, the firewall will either permit the traffic pass through or it would deny it, right? But in this method, like in the one arm sniffer in the FortiGate, or in the tap method in the Palo Alto or whatever it is, like basically it's not going to act as a firewall, or it's not going to work based on the rule. Instead, it's going to be in a passive mode connected with a single interface to a switch, and all the traffic, like all the incoming, oh sorry, all the outgoing and the incoming traffic would be sent a copy to it. Okay, basically it is used to analyze the network traffic. Kind of ideas. Okay, uh, like there are a lot of requirement, or depends on the situation. Like multiple situations, we may go for this one arm stiffer to understand a specific traffic type, or is that to analyze the network performance, uh, for some troubleshootings, to understand some top talkers, or multiple scenarios. Like we would be going in this direction. Will be deploy, or we will be setting the firewall to analyze the packet. So basically, we are not going to block a traffic. Instead, we are going to analyze it. Right? Fine. So as said, it helps to identify the network issues, performance bottleneck, and security breaches without affecting the traffic. The reason why it's not affecting the traffic, because it's just monitoring the traffic. It's not going to take action based on the rules. Assist in ensuring that the network traffic adheres to organizational policies and regulatory requirements. Fine. So these are the means the two things that talks about the deployment and traffic flow. The FortiGate unit is deployed in the passive mode connected to the network segment via single interface. Okay, and the traffic is mirrored from the switch or router to the firewall interface, allowing the device to inspect the packet. Okay, this one already we have discussed. All right. So coming to the switch side, we need to configure a span. Like we need to configure a monitoring session. So basically, two line. First one, if you this particular configuration is based on this topology. Okay. So now what I need to do, like all the incoming and the outgoing traffic at this port, like it is 0/0, right? I want to monitor this port, and that session information should be sent to this port. Okay, over that it would go to this, right? So that if you see here, I would made the ETH 0/0 as source. Okay, and also like monitor session from 1 to 64, I think we can, you can set one number, and we need to first define the source. Okay, who is the source, and which interface like you want to make it. And also here next to the interface information, right, we need to define like only if you want to monitor the RX or TX or both, like upcoming, incoming, outgoing, or both. So that one is missing here. Like you can add it. Like in general, we would be putting both, or based on your requirement, you can have it. So in the lab, we'll test with both. Okay, I'll show you how to do it. And in the next line, if you see what it's mentioned, monitor the session 1, the same session, destination interface 0/2. So basically, whatever you are collecting from here, send it to this destination. Okay, ETH 0/2. So collected from here, sent to this interface. So this is about the switch side configuration. And then when it comes to FortiGate firewall configuration, like maybe this is for your future reference, I'll show you like how to do it. Okay, we can do it, or we can have this information from both CLA as well as GUI. All right, let me show you in our lab. All right, so this is the topology as I showed in the PPT. Okay, we have a PC that is connected to internet, basically the NAT network, and we have just a simple L2 switch with no VLANs here. So I think now this device should have received an IP address from the subnet 192.168.60.0/24. Maybe let me check here. If config. All right. Before that, first, like we need to ensure that what is the network adapter settings. So in order to do so, like as you know, just come here to control panel, select it under that network. Okay. So it's mentioned as like a static, but for this particular lab, let me put as a DHCP only. Let it get directly. See, it would get from IP 192.168.60.0/24. All right. I don't know why like this utility is not working. It hangs. Let me do one thing. Let me just stop this. I'll just basically restarting it. Okay. It would take a minute time. So what I'll do, just hold it for now. Let me pass the video here, and as soon as it comes up, I'll resume it. Okay. All right. I just you know started again. Let's see. All right, it's working. It would take few more seconds. Let's wait. All right, it came now. Okay. The very first thing is like I should check the IP address here. Okay, I should enable this one so that it would get an IP address from my DHCP server. All right, I apply it, exit, then let me minimize it for now. Let me go to my terminal to ensure whether it received the IP address, ipconfig. All right, if you see here, it got the IP address from the right subnet, the expected one, that is 192.168.60.0/24. All right, so now it has the connectivity to internet. Maybe ping 8.8.8.8. All right, so now we have the connectivity to internet. So what I'll do, I'll just pass it for now. Okay, so basically now this PC has an connectivity to the internet, right? So let's configure a monitor session in the switch, like in order to whatever data, like in both incoming and outgoing, all the transactions should be sent to here, this interface. Yes, of course, it would be forwarded to this port as well. Just a copy of whatever that is, incoming and outgoing traffic, the copy of it to be sent to this destination as well. So in that case, the FortiGate firewall would get a copy of all the transaction, and based on that, as the firewall is having a very beautiful dashboard to view or analyze the traffic, we can do it. Okay, this is a kind of an IDS deployment. Okay, fine. So let me open the switch here. So enable. So we don't need to configure any IP addresses and all because it's just an L2. All right. Config mode. If you want to give any name, you can give it, and just like host name, LAN switch. All right. So now we need to configure the monitor session. So monitor session, we need to give either you can start from 1 to 66. Okay, I just go with 1, and then you need to specify the source, like source it should be based on interface. Okay, there are, if you see, if you put question mark, you can get to know all the options, other options. You can check based on, you can do span, okay, based on interface, remote IP, or remote network, or VLAN. Okay, I want to have based on interface, like this interface, whatever that transaction that's happening, coming and going over this interface, I want to put copy to the here. So Ethernet 0/0. Okay. If you remember, like when I'm showing the PPT, this one, like I didn't put the both, right? If you put question mark, like you need to specify what kind of a traffic you want to capture or put mirror it. So, like whether you want to mirror only the incoming by RX, or TX means outgoing, okay, transceiver. So if you put both, you would get both incoming and outgoing traffic. That's it. So now we need to send this copy or mirror to which destination? ETH 0/2. Nothing but the interface that is connected to your FortiGate. That's it from the switch end. Okay. So you're copying all the traffic to here, forwarding to here. If you want to check, okay, do show monitor session 1. If you see here, like it mentioned as like the source port is ETH 0/0, and like both the traffic, okay, both incoming and outgoing, it should get copy or mirror it, and where it to send, it need to send to ETH 0/2. All right, fine. That's it from switch end. We can minimize it. Then let's go to our this thing. Like let's go to our firewall to configure the same. Let me go to my firewall. I just restarted everything. Okay. So that, like last time I had some issue with this devices, I just restarted everything. Let me go to network. First of all, I need to configure this port 5. Okay, this port 5 as the one-armed sniffer port. I go to here. So if you check the interface, like port 5, right? So this is the port, and the status of the port is up, right? Just click it, open it. You can give any name, like if you want to put one arm sniffer, you can put, or if you want to put IDS for a better, or mirror, something like that, you can put it. All right. So if you see here, the addressing mode, okay, you don't need to configure anything here. Like in the addressing mode, you see an option like one arm sniffer, right? Just select it. So this option help us to put the device in one arm sniffer mode for this interface. All right. You scroll down, like there are a lot of other things we can do, like specific to antivirus, web filter, and all. So it completely based on your requirement. All right. And here, log allowed traffic. What kind of a log you're looking to have? I just put as like all sessions. Okay. That's it. And status is enabled by default. So as soon as you select all the session, just select OK. All right. So now this is configured at one arm sniffer. Okay. This is configured. All right. So let me, the configuration at this side is over. Okay. Now you can go back to your this thing, and you can initiate some traffic and check whether it is getting sniffed or not. So if you see here now, I'm initiating a traffic to this thing like the internet, right? So basically from here I'm initiating ping to 8.8.8.8. So the request would be going like this, and also once it reaches the internet, the response will come here like this. So both the ICMP request and response at this port will be mirrored, means copied, and a copy of it is sent to this one. Okay, this interface. As we have configured port 5 as a one-up sniffer, then what this firewall do, it would take all that and we can analyze it. So I can show you like where you can check. It depends is like what kind of code you're running, which version. If you're working on the latest versions of a FortiGate, like just go to the diagnostics option under interface, or sorry, under network. In some old codes, like you'd be seeing the option packet capture here itself. Under network directly, you would be seeing an option packet capture. But in the latest codes, you can go to network. Under network, you'd be seeing something like diagnostics. Select it. So here you'll be seeing something like packet capture, and under packet capture interface select, and means the port 5. This is what we have enabled as onarm sniffer, right? Just select the specific port that you are using as an onarm sniffer. In my case, I'm using port 5. And also like means you can define how many packet you want to capture it, like that. And if you want to add a more filters, like both basics and advanced, like any host specific or port specific, protocol specific, if you want to capture, you can do it. These are the options that would be helpful during troubleshooting. And also we'd be discussing about packet captures in upcoming videos very detailed. This is just to show you how one arm sniffer work. Okay, we'll be discussing about all these features, the packet captures, in the upcoming videos. All right, so I'll just ignore it for now. We'll go with the basics one. So I selected port 5. I'm telling that whatever traffic that's coming on port 5, just capture, start capture. So as soon as you start capture, you would see the transactions. See, like if you see here, this is the IP address of my client, right? Means this guy, this device. This device IP address is 192.168.0.21. Okay, and it's sending ICMP request and responses coming. Okay, so we can do, like we see here, right? You can see your detailed informations like header wise, packet informations and all. You can also export the capture as well. Before that, what I'll do, instead of only initiating ICMP, I'll just stop it here, the ICMP one. Then let me open any YouTube, some traffic, okay, some web traffic as well. YouTube, Facebook, mm, Wikipedia maybe. Like if you see here, right? So basically we are connected to the internet. So we are getting response from facebooks.com. So, all right, we get a response from YouTube also. It's little loading. Okay, loading little slow due to the resource constraint. All right, so anyway, now our request reaches the Facebook and we got the login prompt here. Also, I think Wikipedia homepage should be loaded. Yeah, so we got a response from Wikipedia as well. And yeah, means basically this is the YouTube homepage. We need to search. Okay, that's fine. So the request from here, we reach the internet, and these are the web traffic, right? What I'll do, I'll just go back to my this thing here. See, all the means earlier we were seeing only the ICMP traffic, right? But if you see now, we are seeing a lot of 443 traffic, web traffic, HTTPS traffic on port 80. See, like I think that's fine. Let's stop the capture for now, and we can also export this capture. Okay, a lot of things we can do. Like even if you want to analyze something from here, you can do it. It would show you all the detailed informations. Okay, if you see here, like the ICMP information, means earlier we were initiating only the ICMP request, right? ICMP traffic. And if you see all our ICMP, okay, sources 192.168.60.21 towards 8.8.8.8, and responses from 8.8.8.8 to this particular destination. So if you scroll down, all right, so some UDP traffics are there. TCP, um, so port 80, port 80. So these are the DNS, okay, port 53, okay, like, so also here you can see the detailed informations. Okay, I can show you like what's the source IP, to which port number it uses, the source port, and to which destination it went. Also, like this IP is already learned here, right? So it shows what is the IP, and the destination port number. Okay, what protocol does it use? Does it use a TCP or UDP? And the L4 information as well. As I said, we'll be discussing about packet captures in detail in the upcoming videos. This is just about one arm sniffer. Okay, see all 443 traffics, HTTPS. Okay, you can check the packet data as well, the encrypted one. Right, you can export as a PCAP also. This one, there is an option here, like bottom, save as PCAP. If you click here, it would get you a copy of PCAP. You can just click it, open. If you remember, like earlier, for the first Sometime we were initiating only ICMP traffic. So that's the reason you are seeing only ICMP echo request and response towards 8.8.8.8. And following to that, we would be seeing some DNS queries because we opened the browser and we were querying for, if you see, this is Firefox, then we should see YouTube, Facebook, and the other thing like Wikipedia, right? Maybe I'll just put here DNS. Okay, so these are all the, see, Facebook, YouTube, Wikipedia. So these are the DNS query that went from that client to the destination. And once the DNS query is successful, it got the destination IP address, then it started to have the SSL negotiation and the transaction begins. Okay. So this is how like you can capture any live traffic without being in the uh, path of the traffic flow. You can just connect it with one interface to a switch, and you can get all the copy of a traffic to and analyze it. All right, so this is one way, and also you can see logs here. Like if you see something, you'll be seeing a logs and report. Under logs and report, there is specific like Sniffer traffic. It will take some time to load, and later you can see it here. Mm, network again. So far we were discussing about the diagnostics, right? So all right, and you can also check this behavior from the CLI. Okay, and one more important thing, like if you want to check it, when you are practicing in lab, if you don't have license, unfortunately you cannot check it here. Okay, in the GUI. However, you can check it in the CLI. Okay, it would work. And again, it depends on the version of the FortiGate firewall you're using, because recently FortiGate has made a lot of changes in their evaluation license policies and all. So I'm using a licensed version so that I can show you. So I'll show you like how to check the same in CLI. Maybe the command is diagnosis sniffer packet, and we need to give the port number. So here in our situation we have connected port 5, right? So just hit enter. All right, now let me go back and let me initiate some traffic. I'll just close this everything. Let me reinitiate this ICMP ping only to make it little quick. See, these are the other transactions, like we closed it, right? So that one it is. And if you see here, now we have initiated ICMP echo request, right? So we'll be seeing continuous echo request, and following to that we are getting the echo response to it. So this is how you can check from the CLI, and this is what one arm sniffer method is. I'll repeat, like if you want to check, if you want to perform a lab, means if in case you don't have a license, you can just check it from the CLI. All right.